After infidelity, will your marriage never be the same? The innocence of the marriage is gone, always in the back of your mind. Infidelity lives forever, it becomes a part of you. I would say yes. The innocence, the illusion of what your marriage was is now gone. And that version of your marriage is not coming back. That version of you, it has died and it is not coming back. The husband that you imagined in your mind, all the expectations that you had, the dream that you had together, this man on a white horse that you built, your knight in shining armor, that is also gone and dead. But you trade it in for something else. When you allow the old marriage to die and allow a new one to be rebuilt, and when I say be rebuilt, I mean rebuilt. You're going to learn each other again. You're going to communicate on different terms and different ways. You're going to learn each other's likes and dislikes, literally starting from the ground up when you build this new marriage. I would say the innocents are your masks that are coming off. It is all the trauma that you didn't want to address when you went into the marriage, all that now has to be addressed. It is the way that you handle conflict, whether it's through an anxious style or an avoidance style, that also has to end, and you both have to come to a secure way of handling conflict. So you trade in the old marriage actually for something better. And when I mean better, I mean it is an honest marriage. It is a marriage that can be built on trust and intimacy. And it will take your marriage to such different depths of trust and intimacy than you can imagine. The infidelity does not live on between the two of you. I'm 3 years out, and infidelity is part of my past, my previous marriage, but it is not part of my new marriage. And to see my husband come such a long way with his journey in sobriety from sex and corn addiction has been life-changing. To see him courageously work through that has been, I've fallen back in love with him all over again. Would I say in the first year I was in love with him? No. But over time, he has worked so hard to rebuild that trust and intimacy back into our marriage. And that first year, I saw him for who he truly was. And he had been trying so hard to mask for so many years this Mr. Nice Guy, this good guy persona that wasn't him. You know, he had learned to mask behaviors and mask personalities, and he had to completely deconstruct all of that and start all the way back at the beginning with who he truly was. And I also had to go back to the beginning and deconstruct so many bad coping mechanisms and so many bad ways of communicating to really address things I wanted or needed out of the relationship. Today, we have such an incredible marriage with communication skills that now help us navigate conflict, with being able to connect with each other, have really difficult but beautiful, honest conversations. And I was told by somebody when I started on this journey of choosing to stay and doing the work that if I chose to stay and do the work, that my marriage would be better than I could ever imagine. And I didn't want to believe that at the time, but I would say it's so true. And so I would pass on to anyone who's watching and thinking about choosing to stay, and your partner is willing to do the work. That is key. He's willing to do the work. He doesn't want to just stuff this under the rug or tell you to shut up, or, just try to pretend that life can go on its merry way, this same way things have always quote unquote worked. That's not going to work. That will spiral out of control, and that will keep infidelity in the marriage forever. But a man who is willing to do the work because his wife is setting a boundary that he will do it, those marriages have a wonderful success rate of getting transformed and the marriage being better than it ever was before. So there is hope beyond betrayal. There's hope past infidelity. There's hope past cheating, and hope past men having a sex or corn addiction. Absolutely, there's hope. And that is why I'm on here sharing my story, because I believed comments like these when I first started this journey, and they were so destructive and so hurtful and so discouraging. And that is why I'm here creating this kind of content, because I want to change the narrative. I want to show people what I saw on the opposite end of this, behind closed doors, in counseling rooms, in retreats, where so many women would very quietly tell me, I chose to stay and my marriage is better than it was before. And I'm sitting out here proclaiming on TikTok, hey, your marriage can be better than it was before.